Chief, great to have you back in Pittsburgh. Thanks for the opportunity of hosting the EAB and Journal of Toy. Thanks as well for being back in Pittsburgh. For all the EAB, we had a great day yesterday. I promise you a great day again today. Thanks to Dr. Barber for the kind comments. I don't know if I owe you lunch from that, but thanks for the very kind comments. Good morning, everyone. I'm Colonel John Lloyd. I am the commander of the Pittsburgh District. This year, the district turned 150 years old. I'm honored to speak with you today about how our organization continues to improve the quality of life for people, support the economy, and provide environmental stewardship for the region. I want to start by familiarizing you with the Pittsburgh District. Our boundary is formed by the headwaters of the Upper Ohio River Basin, which covers 26,000 square miles in parts of 5 states: Ohio, New York, West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. And we serve about 5.5 million people. We are small, but a very well-developed basin. This development is due in large part to our amazing water resources. We consistently average about 38 inches of precipitation a year. Within our basin, we have 10 significant river systems and 25,000 linear miles of perennial streams. These resources have provided water for industrial development, mineral extraction, commercial navigation, economic development, sewage treatment, agriculture, and many other activities. Development also creates great challenges such as more people, industry, and infrastructure to protect from historic catastrophic flooding. More burden on water resources from industrial discharges, acid mine drainage from mineral extraction, deforestation, sewage outflows, and agricultural runoff. Historically, these burdens have taken a toll on our rivers. By the mid-part of the 20th century, many of the waterways in the Upper Ohio River Basin were severely impaired or biologically dead. Recognizing the need to protect people and property from catastrophic flooding and to address water quality and supply issues, Congress authorized and began funding the Pittsburgh District in the mid-1930s to build out a water management system comprised of 16 multi-purpose dams in the Upper Ohio River Basin. The full sweep of authorizations included flood control, low flood augmentation, water quality, navigation, water supply and later add-ons, fish and wildlife conservation, and recreation. This reservoir system and the people who operate and maintain it have served the region well. With its ability to capture and store a third of the precipitation that falls in the basin, the system has prevented an estimated $33.5 billion in flood damages as calculated in 2015 dollars. With 88% of its summer water storage designated for water quality releases, the reservoir system has also played a major role in helping to bring back life to the rivers. Improved water quality, recovering aquatic ecosystems, a decrease in pollution, and the increase in recreational use of the rivers are some of the indicators that we are trending in the right direction. We've come a long way, but we need to ask ourselves, how do we keep what we've worked so hard to achieve? And how do we continue to improve the environment while making smart decisions regarding the operations and maintenance of the system and reinvestment in our aging infrastructure? As we move forward, we must consider that aging infrastructure does not only refer to the physical age and condition of our facilities, but also to the historical purposes for which those facilities were built. We must ask ourselves if our project purposes, shaped by conditions that existed more than 80 years ago, still align with our current needs and with our anticipated future needs. For example, we keep a certain amount of storage space to capture the storms of yesterday. We have the same release schedule to dilute pollution related to steel production long after most factories have closed. Do we need to allocate 88% of our reservoir storage for water quality releases when downstream conditions have improved and legacy pollutants have diminished? Can we use some of that stored water for another authorized purpose, such as fish and wildlife conservation? The answer to these questions, like these, can inform and help justify the decisions we make to modify our operations or our physical structures to meet those current needs. It takes resources, funding, and expertise to consider and recommend actions that will effectively utilize our infrastructure to meet today's challenges. A national cooperative agreement between the Army Corps and the Nature Conservancy has provided funding and direction to increase our understanding of the effects that our reservoir operations have on downstream aquatic ecosystem function. In 2012, we started to analyze the effects of our reservoir release schedules at our Monongahela River Basin projects on downstream flows and ecosystem function. With funding from the Army Corps Sustainable Rivers Program in 2014, we also began to look at operations of the Allegheny River Basin. We need the expertise of organizations like the Nature Conservancy to help us determine specific operational measures such as releases for environmental flows. For example, can we pulse releases after small storms to mimic natural flows, or make structural modifications such as installing additional control tower gates at varying elevations to better mix water for downstream temperature objectives? The goal is to develop science-based flow recommendations based on existing information that are used to water managers. The purpose is to determine the impacts of reservoir operations on natural hydrographs, provide flow recommendations to maintain critical species, habitats, and ecological conditions. We need the expertise of organizations like the Nature Conservancy to help us determine specific operational measures such as release and environmental flow. The work underway between the Corps and the Nature Conservancy, coupled with the application of our environmental operating principles, can serve as a model for evaluating the major portion of our aging water management system. The 23 locks and dams on the Allegheny, Monongahela, and Ohio rivers. The aquatic life and habitat within this navigation system are directly influenced by the flow augmentation from our reservoirs. They are linked, and we need to consider a systems approach when addressing water management issues on the Upper Ohio River Basin. Our navigation facilities, some built near the turn of the century, represent the oldest, largest, and arguably most fatigued system in the Corps inland navigation system. Built as a water highway to provide reliable commercial navigation, the system has helped to foster development and prosperity in the region. But like our reservoir system, in some cases, the authorized purpose of some facilities does not reflect current conditions. In the upper reaches of the Allegheny and Monongahela navigation, commercial traffic has waned, and with it, the federal interest in funding operations, maintenance, and improvement of the facilities. For the past 2 years, the Corps has received funding from nonprofit recreational organizations to pay for operations of the upper locks, but we are in a fix-as-fail situation. We are now engaging the commercial navigation industry, recreational boaters, those who rely on system-sustained pools to provide water supply and hydropower, and other interested parties to determine what to do with these locks. The application of our environmental operating principles are essential, ensuring that we consider environmental consequences and sustainability, and work in a collaborative manner with all interested and impacted parties. As the primary manager of our region's water resources, we commit to engage our partners and make informed decisions so that we continue to improve the lives and enhance the environment for the next 50 years. Thank you, and Chief, again, thank you for the opportunity to host today, and thanks to all the EAB members as well. We look forward to the rest of the day with you.